So I made a video about the propaganda film that Freeman put out. And I was exposing it as propaganda. And I don't know what the idiots watched who commented in my comment section, but I've seen smarter turnips than these motherfuckers. I tell you what. I tell you what. Now, the way this is my insight to you. Okay? What Joe Gamaldi said was propaganda. The police engage in propaganda. You are aware of this, or you should be. Propaganda in today's day and age is essentially victim bucks. You've heard people talk about victim bucks or victim points. If you are a victim in today's society, you tend to get empathy. We're very empathetic. There's a lot of focus on empathy, not a lot of focus on logic. So the way you get what you want is you become the bigger victim. And you see this in the police. Here's what the police do. The police, with audits, somebody comes out and does an audit, and the police will be all nervous and scared. Maybe they're buying their own propaganda, or maybe they're just spinning it. Who knows? I'm not a psychic, and neither are you. But they come out and they say, well, you know, didn't you hear that there was somebody shot at an officer the other day, or somebody stole a police car from the lot the other day, or somebody did this, somebody did that. I mean, it just all recently, et cetera, et cetera. And they never point to anything specific. Now, do police officers get shot at? Sure, they do. Do police officers get targeted? Occasionally. Not very often. I mean, it's saying that police officers get targeted is about the same thing as saying like school kids get targeted for assassination. I mean, it's not a very common thing. It is actually rather uncommon. There was the incident in Dallas where a guy shot at like 5 police officers during the Black Lives Matter thing. Did he go out there to kill the police officers? Yes, absolutely. Is that common? No, it's not. It's very uncommon. And Black Lives Matter, they are also claiming victim bucks. They're claiming victim points. They're going out there and they're saying the police are killing black people, and they're targeting them because of racism, and it's racist. It's those racist police, and they point at statistics that show yes, black people are per capita more likely to be killed by the police, but they're not also pointing at the other statistics that say black people are per capita more likely to resist arrest. They're more likely to be engaged in violent crime. They're more likely to actually try to shoot at police officers than other races. Oh, you're a racist. Well, maybe. I guess facts are racist. Statistics are racist. Always remember, though, always remember, if anybody wants to play the statistics game with you, always remember, there are lies, damn lies, and statistics. That's Mark Twain. And everybody's an individual, and you should treat them as an individual. But if someone starts playing the statistic games, you could play the statistic game back. Just remember that you're being just as disingenuous as they are. And what Joe Gamaldi is doing is he's playing a propaganda game, and Freeman's playing one back. And neither is being terribly genuine. Now, I went through what Gamaldi said, and if you actually watch my video with hearing what the words are that are coming out of my mouth, I am talking about the words that are coming out of Gamaldi's mouth. Because I'm not a psychic, and I don't pretend to be a psychic. I don't know what Gamaldi's thinking. You also don't know what Gamaldi's thinking. And if you think you know, then either you're lying to yourself, or somebody has convinced you through propaganda, because you don't know what Gamaldi's thinking, and they don't know what Gamaldi's thinking. Only Gamaldi knows what he's thinking. And all the evidence we have of what he's thinking are the words that came out of his mouth, which is why I focused on the words that came out of his mouth. And I have a distinct suspicion that he chose the words that came out of his mouth very carefully. He seems like a bright man. He seems like the kind of guy, because of his young age and his high position in the Houston Police Union, he seems like a very intelligent, driven, motivated man who is going to take the time to choose his words carefully. And I pointed out that he chose his words carefully. He threatened to hold people accountable. Now think about this. If you think that's a threat, it is a threat, but it's not. It's no more of a threat than saying, if you break the law, I will hold you accountable. Is that a threat? Absolutely. It's a threat in the same way as what Joe Grimaldi said, but it's not unlawful, it's not illegal, and it is actually what you would expect a police officer to do. So now that we understand that, I am fully aware that what Grimaldi said is propaganda, and I am not taking Grimaldi's side. I didn't take his side in the video, and I'm not taking his side now. I was merely exposing what Freeman was doing, because Freeman was using Grimaldi's propaganda to make propaganda of his own, and I'm not in the habit of exposing the police's propaganda. I'm in the habit of exposing Freeman's propaganda. Because Freeman's propaganda, I think, is much more dangerous to the auditing community than Grimaldi's propaganda, because Grimaldi doesn't have any power over the community. He is also restrained by the law. And his threat it was a very carefully worded threat that didn't threaten anything illegal or unlawful. So bear that in mind. He also didn't name specific people other than the people who were trying to kill police. People are putting targets on the cops' backs and who are killing cops. That's who he's targeting. So let's look at some of the stupidity. Ranger 11 says, Earl also put up propaganda on the same video of the police union spokesperson. They believe that he's speaking specifically about auditors. So Earl is not making a statement about Ranger is not making a statement about what Ranger believes. Ranger is making a statement based on what Earl said. And 40 Year Fitness, who has been completely retarded today, and normally he's not. So I don't know, maybe he's drunk, maybe he's just having a bad day. Maybe he had a light snack of paint chips before he got on. But he says, Ranger 11, you don't know what was in the union president's mind. Absolutely, 40 Year Fitness, Ranger doesn't, and you don't, and Earl doesn't. So he says Earl's guess is just as good as yours. Well, here's the problem, 40 Year Fitness. You don't know what Ranger 11's guess was, do you? He says, here's an article that agrees with Earl. Well, oh my God, here's, did I not open that one up? I thought I had that one open. Let's open it again. It's a bunch of civil rights activists who are also hot in the victim bucks game, who are using this, the Greater Houston Coalition for Justice. I mean, they are using it for their victim bucks because yes, it is very much in their best interest. It is very much in the best interest of the civil rights group, the coalition. It is in their best interest to be the victims. And look they're getting free reporting. They're getting free press. Congratulations. They're getting what they want. Congratulations, 40 Years Fitness. You're actually giving them free press. You're helping their propaganda efforts. Let's see what else we got here. News Now Liar is trying the same on his with his videos on the Houston shooting, adding his own little twist to the incident. He is. They didn't start from Earl. There were other news stories that the Houston police may have went to the wrong house. There is nothing that I have found where they went to the wrong house. There's nothing that I found. This is Click to Houston. This is their news. They did not go to the wrong house. It says it in here somewhere. Okay, Acevedo reiterated the fact that the warrant was served at the correct house. There you go. So it wasn't the wrong house, so you're wrong there. Anyway, I don't really want to get into that thread. It's a bunch of stupid in there, I'll bet, but I'm not really familiar with it. Okay. So 40-Year Fitness says, come on, Merb, do your homework. In St. Louis during the Black Lives Matter protests, they put an undercover cop in the protest, and guess what happened? Post hoc ergo propter hoc. Did the undercover cop incite it? Because you have to remember that Ginger Snaps was talking about people inciting violence. Paid people going out there to incite violence between the cops and the auditors. And you haven't, the cops thinking he was a protester beat the bloody pulp out of the officer, and now he filed a lawsuit against the police to beat him up. Congratulations. Where in that does it say that the undercover cop incited violence? See, that's the problem. The problem is you didn't listen to what I said. I never said there weren't undercover cops. I said there weren't paid instigators. I think the words I used was paid subversives. People are out there trying to incite violence. Your Fitness says, Merb, are you going to call the Houston chief crazy too? Who did I call crazy in here? Watch this video again. The word crazy never escapes my lips, or insane, or anything alleging anybody was crazy, because he felt the same way about the union president as James does. And he doesn't. He doesn't. See, 40-Year Fitness, he linked this article right here, the Acevedo one, in an earlier comment, and I might get there, but I might not, because I might lose interest. But let's see if I can get there. Here we go. Houston Police Chief Art Acevedo said Houston Police Union President Joe Grimaldi went over the top with his remarks about the shooting that left 5 officers injured earlier this week. Over the top. Over the top. Excessive or exaggerated. It's saying, it's the difference between saying he hurt me and he hurt me real bad. One is over the top. But both have, one is true and exaggerated. So I think you're wrong on this one. Stirring the pot in the eyes of the police. See, now he's going to play psychic. Is people that want to document and show what police officers do. Is that what they're saying? Again, you have to go by what these people say. Unless you're psychic, you don't know what Joe Grimaldi was thinking, let alone all the police everywhere. That's propaganda. That's shitty propaganda that 40-Year Fitness is engaged in, but it's just propaganda. It's really retarded. See if we can't find. I thought there was more. I thought there was more. Anyway, I think I've made my point. The point is, unless you're psychic, listen to the words that people say. I mean, maybe you can also gather information based on their actions, but we haven't seen any actions from Grimaldi yet, have we? So we can't use that. You can sometimes read things in by their body language, but his body language isn't saying anything right now. He's giving a speech. He's not fingering his firearm. He doesn't have his taser out. He's not trying to shine his flashlight into somebody's camera. There are places where we could take other cues in, but if you don't have those other cues, all you can go by are the words that come out of his mouth. And Acevedo saying that it's over the top. Oh, he said Grimaldi's emotions got the best of him. He didn't say in here that Grimaldi was wrong, did he? He didn't say Grimaldi was crazy. He didn't say Grimaldi was wrong. He didn't say that Grimaldi should be fired or punished or anything like that. He just said Grimaldi's comments were over the top. And again, unless you're psychic, you don't know anything other than what's written on the page. So I hope I've made my point. It is a game. It is a game of propagandas. It is a game that some people are ill-equipped to fight. 40-year fitness, I'm looking at you. You're a sucker for propaganda. No, I'm not on Grimaldi's side. No, I'm not on Freeman's side. I am merely pointing out the propaganda. You can do with that whatever you want. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.